Welcome everybody. We just looked at resume related things, and now our topic is the questions which recruiters and not just recruiters, maybe in companies, questions they ask you about. And here is the list which was given to me by one of our graduates a while ago. But I like that list because it covers pretty much what most of the people would ask. So if you have anything to add to the list, means you talk to recruiters and they ask you something which you want me to answer or to help you to answer as we speak. So please tell me, and I will take care of it. So I will run another notepad if I would need to make some notes. So guys, here is a question, and it is a real good question. And I would really ask you to type something in Skype window what you might think. So what is special and differentiates you from the rest of the crowd? It is another way of asking you the question, why should we hire you? Why you are different? What makes you better than the rest of the crowd? I do not see anybody typing anything. Guys, what is special about you? Nobody wants to talk? Guys, if you want to talk, let me. I can turn your microphone on if you wish. I'm a professional. You are professional. But the crowd might be also professional. I mean, you are not competing with the crowd coming out of blue. You are competing with the crowd of professionals. Let's say your level professional. Let's say if you are applying for $30 per hour job, so there is a crowd applying for $30 per hour job. What makes you better than the crowd? You belong to that crowd, guys. It's not like somebody else's crowd. You are a part of that crowd. But what makes you different from that crowd? You are not in $50 per hour crowd. You are not in $40 per hour crowd. You apply for $30 per hour job. You are part of $30 per hour crowd. What makes you different? And that question will come to you in many possible formats. But that is the must question. And I would say people who asked the guys those questions, so these people are brilliant. And I still do not see anybody providing any input here. What's important here, when you answer any question, including that one, what's important is to stay away from bullshit. Means you cannot go to YouTube or Google and read what other people suggest to answer in that question, because it has to be you. As long as the answer is not sincere, as long as the answer is not a match to your personality, and they see that immediately, as long as they understand you are playing games, you are not answering sincerely, okay, that is the end of story. They don't believe any single word of yours if it is not sincere. It doesn't matter now what you say. If they realize it's not sincere, nobody cares what you just said. So you have to be prepared to that question. You have to give it a thought, actually. And so you are passionate about making difference in software testing. You might say, I would rephrase a little bit, I would say you are passionate about becoming someone who makes the difference in software testing. Because if you are at senior level position or lead position or kind of much higher level position, you are passionate about making the difference. So far, you are passionate about your career growth. You are passionate about being someone, eventually, becoming someone who makes the difference in software testing. Okay, another answer we have here, I always improve myself in QA, which is a good answer. So you never stop developing your skills, you never stop learning, but it would be a good addition to the previous one. You never stop learning because you want to become someone who makes a difference in software testing. So one thing is what you do, but another is why you do that, what motivates you. It could be just the single question. What motivates you? Money, honor, career growth, or I don't know, title. What motivates you? I want to be someone who makes the difference in software testing. That is what my motivation is. Okay. Naila says, she said, I have IT background. It's a good base for QA automation. Some people might also, other people might also have IT background. And then when it comes to automation, then the position itself should require automation, and then automation should be critical for that specific job. Then we understand the value of automation. If the position is in manual testing, and you talk about automation, then so what is the value? It doesn't make you any special. You might speak Turkish, or I don't know, Chinese, but if they do not do Turkish localization or Chinese localization, it doesn't give you any advantage. It doesn't make you special. So that specific answer in IT background as a as a foundation for future automation, you might say that under limited circumstances. Number one. Number two, when you answer that question, they have automation. Good. The critical part of that is not what you have in the past. I mean, not just what you have in the past, but most important part of it is what's going to happen in the future. Because lots of people have something in the past, and now they want to relax a little bit. They don't want to learn anything new. They do not want to work hard. They just want to relax. They deserve to relax. Listen, they work hard for many years. So when you say, I want to become someone who makes a difference in software testing, you're talking about future, and you're telling me I'm going to be working hard in the future, not in the past. When it comes to automation, if that position is in automation, you tell them, I want to be someone who makes a difference in automation of software testing. I'm passionate about that. And I have IT background, which gives me a very good hope that I can be someone who makes a difference in software testing in a while. So if you really want to focus on automation, you do not tell them about something you did have in the past. You tell them about something which will happen in the future. It's much more important. What happened in the past is also important, but it has to be connected to the future. You're saying, because I want to be someone who makes a difference in automation, then my background in IT, I hope, will give me certain advantage over other people. Okay, Vitaly says, I haven't seen any position only with manual testing. Everybody needs some automation. Guys, we talked about that, and I can repeat. Out of 10 companies which mention automation in their job description, okay, 8 companies out of 10 do not need automation as of today. They just think about it as a future opportunity, but today they might not have any automation at all. Let me demonstrate something to you. Let's go to DICE, okay? And on DICE, let's say advanced job search, nationwide, okay? I'm not limiting myself to any geographic area. And let me do that QA thing. You remember that search, yeah? Give me all the QA positions nationwide, and I will do just one day. Let me do 1 day. I do 1 day, just 1 day. Okay. How many jobs? How many jobs? No, nothing. Search job title only. Why? Why not? What if I do 7 days? Okay, something goes wrong here. Oh, I understand. I understand why. I didn't say it is a Boolean search. Just a second. I didn't say that. It is a Boolean search. Okay, Boolean. And we are looking at 1 day. Okay, let's say find jobs. Oh God, it didn't pick up the Boolean part. That's amazing. Boolean, okay. Find jobs. we have, wow, 2086 QA jobs, guys, QA jobs. Or let me remove that manager, not manager. Okay, let me remove this and say how many jobs do have that QA or SQA. 2,800 jobs. Now, not, okay, not. Let's remove jobs which have Selenium or QTP. What else? I don't even know what it could it be there. QTP or Silk test. Okay, let's see. Jobs which are QA jobs but not automation, no tools. 2830 here. Okay, let's see. 2740. Okay, let's use the word or automation. Just automation. Let's see. Automation overall. We had 2,800. Now we have 25. Guys, most of the jobs do not have automation. I mean, we are talking about 10% of the jobs with automation. We can do it differently. Let's go back. Let's go back. And let's do not look at title only. Let's take a look at the body of the entire body of the message, okay, of the job posting. I just want to show you that most of these jobs are not automation jobs. So Boolean, instead of, okay, I'm removing that job title only, okay. How many jobs? 73, almost 7,400. Almost 7,400. Now here I'm saying not automation or Selenium or QTP. Okay, let's see. 7,800, almost 7,400 becomes what? What is that? It has this, but it doesn't have that. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's do it different. Let's say end. Okay. Let's do it this way. Okay. So 3,000 jobs have QA and automation things. 3,000 out of 8,000. That is what it is. 3,000 out of 8. So most of the jobs are manual jobs. So when you are saying here, you are saying most of the people who call, they are looking for automation, it doesn't mean they really need automation. And also, you still have to apply for positions, not just them calling you. And also, automation is much more difficult to find. If you think about yourself being a recruiter and you need someone with Selenium, now you have a problem. So they call everybody. If there are, let's say there is a job. I'm a manager. I have a job, and I give it to 5 recruiters, expecting 5 recruiters to be better than 1 in finding that Selenium person. So 5 recruiters call you because you are on DICE, and they call you and say, God, everybody wants automation. It is not the case. It is very elusive. That is what I'm telling you guys. Again, they want automation. You say, no problem. Sure, we can do automation. Okay, they need some automation means it might be enough 8 out of 10. Spending 2 hours looking at very basics of Selenium will be enough. Then Nailia says, in my case, face-to-face interview, they said that you will do manual till end of that year, not bad at all, 6 months. And then you will have opportunity with automation. When I had phone interview with that company, they said that looking for someone who know automation. I said, yeah, I know automation. So that is what I'm telling you guys. They need someone who knows automation, who probably will, guys, the probability of Nailia doing automation in 6 months is maybe 30%. It's maybe 30%. Nailia, would you like to talk about your experience? Let me find you here. Yes, your microphone is on. tell me what happens about your job search. I mean, the statistics. How many calls you have a day? How often they tell you I'm sending your resume to such and such company? Okay, Naila is typing. I can hear her typing. She cannot talk. Okay, just type to us. So how many calls you have a day in average, and child sleeping? Good. So, and how many, how often they tell you I'm sending your resume to companies? So you must be a good mom. So since you're, okay, so careful. Daily doesn't say so far. Okay, 2 calls a day, it's nothing, really. It's not much. 2 calls a day. How many resumes do you send out? I mean, why just 2 calls a day? I remember you were positioned very well. So maybe, I'm not sure in which area you are, but 2 calls a day is, do you want me to look at it? Or in New York, you should have tons of calls. Do you want me to look at that? I can stop recording and we can look at it. So guys, let's stop recording for a while. Oh, you delete it? I am delete. No. What does it mean? So you are not on DICE anymore? I got a job. So you got a job. Guys, let's say congratulations to Naila. She got a job. She didn't tell me. So normally I am the first one to know. So any details you can share, or I mean whatever the details. Okay. So that is exactly the job you've got, I understand. Okay. Now, yeah, probably that is the job she got. And I asked at the very beginning, who got a job? And nobody says anything. Okay, guys, it was a very good, I find 2 bugs before interview. You're not the first one doing that stuff. And that is cool. Yeah, that is very good. And shows them, be careful with that, guys. Some people get offended. I know situations like that. Okay, guys. Okay, very good. Very good. So that is what happens when you have 2 hours interview with 4 people. Not a big deal. With 4 people, you might easily talk 4 hours. It happens a lot. It is either 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or 1 hour each. So, okay. So guys, you can't imagine how happy I am. Okay, because it works. And okay, guys, you will communicate after the class. Let's go back to the conversation we have. So Naila, relax and answer their questions in 20 minutes when we finish the class. Okay, but what I want to say, Naila is an exact example of the way it works. They tell you we want automation, then you say sure, and then either they don't need it at all, or they need it in 6 months. And again, it's 30% in 6 months. I can tell you, 70% they don't need it ever. Okay, let's keep going. So answering the question, so what is special about you? You want to be someone who makes the difference in whatever is important in that specific job. So automation or manual or just profession itself and so on. Can you tell me how you did? They look at your resume, and in your resume they will see, let's say, HTML. And they say, okay, can you tell me how you did HTML? So how exactly it happened in your case? What did you do with HTML? And you might say, when we tested, let's say, web page for, we have that, God, what is this? What's your application? It drives me crazy. Guys, what is the web page for your product? Can you remind me? Whatever your web page is, you say view page source, right mouse click, view page source, and then you see the HTML and JavaScript. So yeah, GeniTrack. And then you report problems on the web page in HTML, right? Exactly in where it happened, instead of just behavioral level. That is how you did it. Unless you did use it for automation. Let's say you did use HTML when you developed your Selenium IDE scripts or things like that. Give it a thought. But you have to be prepared, because when you go to the interview, whatever they find in your resume, any technical abbreviation, any tool, you're saying Jira, how did you use Jira? You used Mantis, how did you use Mantis? You have Microsoft Word, how did you use Microsoft Word? That is how you prepare, guys, because that is what they're going to ask, or potentially might ask. It is not going to be the most critical, part of your resume. But if you have Selenium and they care about Selenium, say, okay, how did you use Selenium? Or, oh, you have SQL, how did you use SQL? Okay, so that is important. Tell me about the school. I'm not sure if that is a very common question. It just comes from that gentleman. It was in his resume, and since they never heard about our existence, they, yeah, what is that school about? How many people go there? How were the classes structured? What else? How long were you there before you came to LASTH? How many people go there? You can say I was taking online class, but I know they have. We have now 500 people a year on campus. 500 graduates on campus, and maybe 150, maybe 200 online a year. So we are not huge, but we are. If it comes to the school, we are the very first QA school in the world. We started in '94, guys, in August of '94. Actually. In 3 weeks, it's going to be 19 years since we started. So we are the first one, and the kind of the real one. And so we are licensed and this and that. So we are that kind. And so what are your strengths? We have a video on weaknesses, actually, not strengths, but. When it comes to strengths, what makes you stronger than other people? It's just not about your strengths, but compared to other people. What are your strengths? Guys, any ideas? Would you share? What are your strengths? What would you say about your strengths? Just type it in. And again, it has to be something which differentiates you from other people, and you have no idea who are other people. You compete against few more individuals, and you don't know anything about them. So you shouldn't say something which is not working. You shouldn't say something which other people might also have. You shouldn't say, I have IT background. Yeah, they might have IT background. You can say, I have 2 years of experience, but they might have 2 years of experience, maybe more than that. What is exactly you have that other people do not necessarily have? And your actual strength is in working hard, in going an extra mile. And let me say a couple of words about an extra mile. In today's world, there is a new trend. It didn't exist a year ago or 2 years ago. There is something real new. The real new thing is they want people who are willing and who are happy and who will, on their own, go an extra mile in whatever they are doing. They don't have to ask you to go for an extra mile. You will do it yourself. Specifically, what is absolutely unacceptable in today's world, they give you an assignment, you do it, and you wait for another one. Either you should jump on another assignment yourself, or you have to go to manager and say, okay, I'm ready, what's next? They cannot afford to have people who will wait for another assignment. I can tell, maybe in Los Angeles or Denver or I don't know, wherever people sleep a lot at work, I don't know. In Silicon Valley, they kick you out. Just kick you out because you cannot fit into today's work environment. So when you are saying Alice says serious, disciplined, hard worker, doesn't help. Lots of people are serious, lots of people are disciplined, lots of people are hard workers. It's not enough. Integrity, taking pride in what you do, it's good. But there is something which is stronger, I would say. And that stronger is I am willing to go an extra mile. Whatever assignment you give me, whatever your expectations are, I will go an extra mile. You don't have to ask me to go an extra mile. I'll do it. I will go it myself. That is what makes you different from 99% of people. Business owner thinking is working against you. Don't say that. Don't say that. You are supposed to think as an employee, not business owner. If you start thinking about business owner, you cannot really be an employee. Okay? So it's a different type of thinking. You don't want to show that. Even if you are thinking as a business owner, don't show, don't tell them. It is a conflicting mentality, I can tell you right away. So guys, take my advice, okay? And tell them, I am willing to go an extra mile. Let's say extra mile is a keyword for that question. What's your strengths? What makes you special? Why should we hire you? Okay, all that stuff. What are your weaknesses? We have video on that. And I don't really want to talk much about this stuff. Watch the video. It's like 6-7 minute video, and it will give you a lot. And I have one in Russian, actually, with enormous viewership. Let me, well, it's okay. I have no Russian keyboard here. I mean, it's like 70,000 people watched my What Are Your Weaknesses? And I had 2 people actually recently in different parts of former Soviet Union who told me they go to an interview and they are being asked, do you have any questions? And they ask the question I suggest, which is, how would you define an ideal candidate? And so the guy writes me, he said, he asked that question and manager looked at him and manager said, hey, you listened, Michael. Okay, you watched Michael's video. So we are much more well known over there with our tricks, but watch the video about weaknesses, but be prepared, guys. That is a common question. Why should we hire you? Same thing as your strengths. Similar. So you want to be someone who makes a difference, and you will go an extra mile, which is another aspect of that. Why would you go an extra mile? Because you want to be someone who makes a difference. Because you do not count how much it costs you to do the right thing. You just do it, whatever the cost. Why did you go from interior design, whatever the profession? So he was doing interior design. But the question is, and multiple questions, why QA? Why did you move from one profession to QA, another profession to QA? So are you planning to stay in QA? Why you want QA? How did you learn first about the existence of QA? And then my suggestion would be, since you are all coming from some backgrounds, you are not coming from directly from college to QA, my suggestion would be to say, okay, here is what happened. I was doing something and I was pretty much happy with this, but still, when you come to another country and or most of you are, coming to this country from somewhere, and there are so many opportunities, around, and you start thinking about the opportunities, and if you really look closely, you understand that IT is the opportunity to explore. But then the problem here is it takes years upon years upon years to actually switch to QA, and then eventually someone suggested you to look at QA as a kind of shortcut to the IT field. It's fast. You can do it fast. And so you started to look at that, and you started to watch videos, and you watched lots of classes online, this and that, and finally you said, hey, I like it. I mean, maybe I can really succeed. So you took training, And each and every day of taking the training, each and every day of doing the projects, you felt like you're claiming yourself, you know, you're reclaiming your life back. That is your kind of position. And as of today, you do not envision yourself doing anything but software quality assurance in the near future. And in the long term, you want to be someone who makes a difference in software testing. That is what you do. We have a question. Can you tell that you combine your professions? It is a dangerous venue, because let's say I work in banking and then I go to QA, and I can say I can combine my banking experience and my QA, new QA life, but then it's a problem, because if I go to a company which is not in banking, which is just mobile applications for, I don't know, idiots playing games. So now what can I say? What kind of banking? You might say my first job, for example, was in combination of QA and banking. So I've got my first job simply because of coming from banking background, or I've got my first job simply because I was fluent in Spanish or in Russian. I've got my first job because of my previous experience in mechanical engineering. But then I discovered for myself the QA by itself, and I'm not really bound to any specific area. I just want to be in QA. So it is a dangerous thing, because you narrow down the scope of things you are willing to do. So it might really prevent you from being hired by one company or another company. So only if you go to a company which is a match to your previous background, you can tell them, I really want to bring together all my skills. It was my dream to eventually be in, you know, in the intersection of two things, of my two passions, so I can do both. Okay. Tell me about Los Altos Software Testing House. We covered that last time. How many people are in your QA team, in development team, and QA and development team combined? Let's talk about it. The development of Genitrack happens here in US. It is not outsourced. Most of the projects we do here, and the projects which are recorded on the video page, and some of you have more than just Genitrack. So those applications are developed in Latvia, in Riga, Latvia. And so how big is the team? Difficult to say, really, because you do not communicate to everybody. But as far as you know, let's say the team is like 15 people big, but they have more than one project. QA team, and in Genitrack, development team is 3 people. But as far as you know, the QA team is kind of spread out. It's all over the United States, and they bring people sometimes for a couple of weeks, or they bring people for a couple of months, and they do lots of rotations trying to bring fresh blood to that stuff. So it might be, sometimes it could be, let's say, 5-6 people, sometimes it could be 15. Depends on where they are in their development cycle. So, but it is very, very dynamic, and since you work remotely, you don't know much about that stuff. You might see different names in bug tracking system, but you don't know them. And again, guys, some of you are working in, are living in areas where we have quite a few students, specifically Florida. I think in Florida we have to do a meeting, we have to schedule a meeting of all of you. Maybe you have to get together somewhere in the central part of Florida and go to lunch, you know, and meet each other on the weekend, because we have like maybe 6-7 people working already, and another maybe 5, 6, 7 coming to that stage. So I would rather make sure you know each other. And Naples, okay, go to Naples, whatever part you like. How did you do integration testing? If you have integration in your resume, so how did you do integration? How did you do regression? How did you do stress, volume, any type of testing in your resume, graphic user interface. How did you do graphic user interface testing? Tell me about your knowledge in Selenium. You say, okay, I can use Selenium to produce test cases. And I'm not really kind of a master of Selenium. I'm not doing complicated things, but I can do simple things. And if you give me an opportunity to advance in Selenium, I'll do my best. I'll do my best. And I really want to grow in that direction. That is what I would say. So you can create projects, you can create test cases, you can organize test cases into test suites. You can debug your scripts when it comes to debugging. That is what you do. It's not a big deal. You can use it with HTML and JavaScript if it comes to Selenium IDE, or if you, the most desirable combination is, I mean, if they are serious about Selenium, is Selenium with Java and JUnit, and Eclipse as an environment. The advanced Selenium portion talks about that a lot. It's all about that. So we have Selenium, 26 hours of Selenium videos and 26 hours of advanced Selenium. That is where you find the rest of it. But well, but if you say I can do basic stuff, and I would rather, I mean, have an opportunity to do more. I just didn't have an opportunity. I always wanted to, but they told me it's not a priority. Okay. Did you ever have conflicts with management? You tell them, guys, I'm a professional person, okay? And if it ever comes to conflict with management, I would probably just quit the job and find another one. But I'm kind of lucky it didn't happen to me. But I have no reason to be in conflict with anybody. I mean, conflict is not what I'm looking for. Did you ever have conflicts with management? Did you ever have conflicts with anyone there? You say, you know what, we are in technical work, okay? And I'm not in management position, or I'm not trying to kind of get more authority, or, I mean, I have absolutely no reason to run into conflict with anybody. I'm not in politics business, so I just do my technical work. And that's it. And I understand teamwork. I understand that if we have disagreements, so then we have management who tells us how to go. And I mean, it shouldn't be there. I mean, if we all work normally, there should be no conflict whatsoever. It's just about if people run into conflicts, it means someone is not professional enough. There is no room for conflict. It is a structured environment. We have disagreements, and there is a mechanism for resolving disagreements. Either we talk and we come to the conclusion, or we just escalate that issue to the person above, and that's it. I mean, why should we be in conflict? How do we deal with it if someone says or does something you don't like? I talked to one student, Chinese girl. She's a QA manager now, and she says there is another manager who always, Indian guy, so Chinese versus Indian, and that Indian guy always tells her something and she cannot tolerate that, and she says, I don't know what to say. And I said, I will teach you. So next time it happens, tell him, fuck you. She says, oh, Michael, I just dream one day I can say that. So she cannot. Look, how do you deal with that? You don't care. You do not take it personally. Okay, that is your solution. You never take personally what happens at work. It's not exactly the way to approach things. And I would say I worked here in Silicon Valley specifically. We work in multicultural environment, a real multicultural. And I can tell you, when you look at people coming from different countries, they have different ways of handling that. For example, I remember when I write a bug report, let's say, and Russian developers, they look at my bug report and say, yeah, God, you couldn't find anything more serious. What is it bug report about? So then Indian guy looks and says, so you're saying I'm a bad programmer? I said, no, it's just a bug. I said, yeah, but you mean I'm not good? I said, no, I'm just, okay, Chinese guy just fixes the bug. And then if manager assigns the bug to Chinese guy by mistake, and it happens, sometimes the person who assigns bug assigns them to the wrong people. Chinese guy would never say it's not my bug. To him, it's more comfortable to fix it first without exposing himself to management and extra time. So it is cultural, guys. We are all coming from different environments and different cultures, but we are still in United States, and we have certain culture here which prevails actually. So we have to learn how to resolve it in here. I've never seen any American in my life in software business who would take any bug report personally or any technical conversation personally. It's not about him at all. It is just about certain issue. So that is how we look at that. That is professional conversation. So we are professionals, so we look at that professionally. What would your references say about you and your strongest point if we call them? That is a cute question. How do you know? But you might say, well, what my references will tell you, well, they will tell you I'm a good guy, and you, I mean, you will make a good decision if you hire me. That is what I would say. Okay. Do you see QA as a career or just an 8 to 5 job? Guys, you want to be someone who makes a difference in software testing. You will go an extra mile, 2 miles, 3 miles, 10 miles, as long as it takes to do it, to be there. Okay. When did you start at Portnoy? Okay. When did you start as testing house? So dates of employment. Normally it's not about specific day, but it's a month. August of 96 till July of 2005. What do you do? What do you like about software QA? Guys, that is a good question. What do you like about software QA? You like to see world be in a better place. You like to see software improving as a result of you finding bugs, reporting bugs, or verifying, requirements, and then you just like it. You enjoy it. It is so enjoyable. You like when people appreciate your contribution. When developers said, "God, you found such a good bug," you just like it. That is how it works. Okay, guys, we are pretty much done for today, and I do not see you writing anything in Skype, so probably that is the place where we depart and from each other. So we have a session tomorrow at 7, which is the last session. It is not going to be the very last session, means I would still want to talk to you once a week, just specifically about your job search. So we will have sessions like looking at dice, answering questions, something. I still want to be of help, meaning if you're looking for a job, I want to be next to you and kind of suggesting you on how to get it. I mean, we've got quite a few people who found jobs already, and that is my ultimate goal, to have at least 2-3 people getting jobs before we graduate, because they motivate others. So that is a very important role, and I'm really appreciating the courage they have. So they started to do that and they succeeded, and they have to succeed, guys. If you start doing it, you have no ways to fail. You have to succeed. You just learn how to do it better, and you succeed. Okay, so I can tell you one more thing, just as an information. We start another class on August 20th, and with no changes compared to your class, but next, after that, the online class will incorporate the QA module, the one which Yvette was teaching. So it will become a part of the class. So it will take a few more weeks, and it will cost $250 more. So, and I believe it's going to happen first time in October or November, that way. So, thank you very much, guys. Let me stop the recording, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.